Alright, Wargame fans. So, as you probably know already, Games Workshop just dropped their 10th edition of Warhammer 40k with a brand new set called Leviathan. And we've been lucky enough to get one here, so we're going to unbox the whole thing and show you exactly what's in there. Holy crap, this thing's heavy. Here it is. Alright, let's dig in. The box is super pretty. On the back, there is a taste of what's inside, which I'll show on my camera too over there. Ooh, there we go. So we're looking at Ultramarines versus the Tyranids in this set. Let's open it. Now, where I never played the Wargame rules set, 40k was actually what got me into painting miniatures about 20 years ago. Ugh. Man, I love that artwork. Oh boy, there's a lot of minis in here. We may just fast forward through this. Well, after all that, let's read off what is in here. So 72 miniatures. There's a captain in Terminator armor. In the Space Marines is the Ultramarines. A librarian in Terminator armor. The apothecary biologist. I hope I said that right. Primaris lieutenant in Phobos armor. 5 Terminators, 5 Stern Guard veterans, 10 Infernus Marines, and a Ballistus Dreadnought. And on the Tyranid side, we have the Neuro Tyrant, 2 Neuraloids, Tyranid Prime, 3 Von Ryan's Leapers, Psychophage, Screamer Killer, 11 Neurogaunts, 20 Termagants, 2 Ripper Swarms, and 5 Barbgaunts. I seriously hope that I pronounced all of those right. It's one of those things when you always read a word but never have to say it out loud, and then when you say it out loud you have no idea how it's meant to sound. But now that we've gotten through getting the mini kits out, because there are so friggin' many of them. Oh, here it is. Nicely sleeved together. I'll show the other camera over there. So we've got a smaller paperback book, and then we've got the tome, which looks incredible, has that awesome new book smell. It also has a ribbon bookmark, which I always appreciate with nice books. No page bending here. So let's start looking through the small one. Okay, so this is an instruction book for all of the miniature kits. How to snap them together and where they should go. And then all of the rule sets and point values for each of the units and their weapons. The tome I'm gonna leave for a second, and let's unbox the rest of what's actually in here. We've got all of your decals for the miniatures that need them. And then there's another layer. Okay, card set, big old bases for those massive models, and then a pack of the regular bases for the smaller models as well. And that empties the box. So let's dive into this card box. Half Space Marine, half Tyranid, all epic. That was terrible. Oh, so a quick look into these cards. These are all the measurements for the types of games that they have. Hammer and Anvil, Search and Destroy, Crucible of Battle, Dawn of War, Sweeping Engagement, and game scenarios as well. So these give you the scenarios to base the actual game on. So as to not get a ton of stuff wrong, I just looked up exactly what the card deck is, and this is a 66 card, chapter approved Leviathan mission deck. This allows you to easily generate balanced and varied missions for your games of Warhammer 40k, with these cards for deployment zones, mission rules, primary missions, secondary missions, and gambits. And while they are designed for matched play games, they can be used to generate games for all types of play. So mission rule cards, primary missions, secondary missions as a defender instead of an attacker. Oh, and then it comes with some pop-out coins for you to set up your game maps. Alright, I gotta try and put these cards back away. Oh, there is also a sequence book for the Leviathan games. A Leviathan chapter-approved battle is waged by the following sequence below. Chapter-approved battles are designed for incursion and strike force battle sizes. So there's this little cheat sheet booklet going over the order of events in the Leviathan games. Alright, let's look at the book. So this book includes the 10th edition rule set. I gotta show you guys some of the art, I always do. Look at this stuff. Look at that. Some more. So this includes all of the lore that you will need, L-O-R-E, for the setting of Warhammer 40k, including there's the Imperium, there's the horrors of chaos, we got all the different chapters of Space Marines in here, the Custodes, the Adeptus Mechanicus. Right, then we go into the Forces of Chaos. So this is probably going to be the Chaos Gods and the Chaos Space Marines. Yep, there we go. So the corrupted chapters are all in here. These models on display in this book look incredible. The Xenos threat. So the Eldari, Tyranids, Gene Stealers, the Necrons, the Orc Boys, the Tau, and then finally you get to the core rules. So without getting into the nitty-gritty of it, because I would have to read the entire thing before I could even talk about anything to do with this without seeming completely stupid, the 10th edition is meant to be super rules light, allowing more newbies to get into it. So, I mean, if this is your first dose of looking at 40k and a potential set for yourself, this might be the one to jump into. So the weapon art, absolutely stunning. There's some info on how to set up battlefields, and then playing the different game types that we talked about earlier in the card set. And then we have instructions for the brand new game type, Combat Patrol, which they describe as the quickest and simplest way to start collecting and playing Warhammer 40k. In Combat Patrol games, each player will command a compact army of Citadel miniatures in tactical clashes that should last up to 1 hour. Oh, rad. Okay, so in the cards, when we were looking at the deployment cards, my camera too has died on me. So the deployment cards here reflect the different sort of formations that you use in Combat Patrol as well. So we have more in-depth views at the different formations for Combat Patrol. Also, in your 392-page Leviathan box core rulebook, you'll also find instructions on how to play the Crusade campaign rule set, which is a brand new game in a narrative style that allows you to take your army from recruits and build them up over time. So there we have it, a ton of new games, new rule sets, the 10th edition Leviathan set. And if you enjoyed this unboxing, maybe you should take a look at this one over here.